Let's go take a look at how the app looks in Replit so we can compare. We're going to do a sour summer beer. Now, there is a piece that if we have time, we'll get to today, but I think it might end up being next week's call. And that is, once you have payment processing in place, you need to be able to like send receipts. And going through an app like this to set up its own SMTP sending tool and setting up your own SMTP server or integrating with Sendinblue or SendGrid or whatever you want to do is a lot of extra complexity that you don't need. The way I always do this is once the payment is set up and we have the confirmation route built that triggers the ability to access whatever was unlocked, then you go in and just tell it to add a webhook option that sends all of the customer information to a webhook that you give it. I always just send those webhooks to high level and puts everybody in the CRM, and I can handle all the automations, send them the receipts. And now they're also on a list if I want to set up opt-ins and things like that. It's just a really easy way you can do that much faster than trying to add a full integration for email for every single app. Inside here is how Replit put this together. It shows the key ingredients plus 5 more, brewing notes, 3 more steps, right? And gives us the information here. Then when you click unlock, it takes us to a secure checkout right here. And this is the Stripe integration. If you haven't done testing with Stripe, you can use their test cards. Let me pull them up. They have a bunch of test card numbers. Find them. There we go. Pull those over here onto the screen. These are the Stripe test numbers that you can use. You can test each type of card. And basically you put in the test number and then any digits, any 3 digits or 4 digits and any future date. It will run through as long as you are using test keys. Those won't work on regular keys. Just look up docs.stripe.com testing and you'll have the card numbers here. Good thing to have in hand. So if we go over here, the Visa one is 42. And then you can just basically 1, 2, 3 this all the way through like that to get your test and process the payments. We have our Sunset Berry Blitz. See, these are still locked. And the one we unlocked is right here. Something that I think that for user experience, I would consider adding in the future is to send this information, the entire recipe to the webhook so that I could send them the recipe in an email as well, in case they refresh this page and lose it, or even add some sort of account feature so that their paid for recipes are saved on the site as well and they can log back in and see them. Potentially both. I would start with the email and the webhook. That's a very easy way to make sure their purchase is documented and they receive it. It delinted our routes and it's setting up the rest of our information here. Let's make sure the app is off. So you can see over here if your app is running or not. You won't have your command available here if the app is running, but it's offline right now because it's been editing the files. Let's take a look at, just for fun, another piece of this GHL and see if I can find something more obscure. What's one of the things you would be looking to integrate with?
I'm pretty well a GHL guy. Like I almost everything runs through that for CRM. So I just webhook everything in. But the private integration token has been a really frustrating thing.
It is definitely a handful for sure. Oh, this would be a fun one. Pull products from the products in high level. If you're doing some sort of external payment processing, you're going to need to be able to reference the products in high level and pull all that data through.
Well, from the store, yeah.
From the store. Yeah. So let's see if that'll run or not. See if we can find that information.
That's a unique one.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think V1 of the API had products in it. It came out with the private integrations. This is fun. When you're using Windsurf, it will go through a bunch of tasks and then you get here and say continue. And this is how they manage costs on their end. It will do a total of 20 tasks. And then it will continue. And now that is considered to be another prompt from me. So it uses a prompt credit and will proceed on. That's how they've set it up to keep it from overspending on their end. So if you see that continue, that's what's happening. I think this might be interesting to see if that error gets resolved or not. If you are using a platform like this, like a Windsurf or Cursor or Kilo Code or anything like that, and you want to go and add an integration here, you're going to want to make a branch down here. So make sure GitHub's connected and you have everything synced up. Right here for this, I made a branch, and you right click on the commit that you want to branch from and just tell it create a branch. And then now all of your changes will go into that branch. Since this is published on Railway, I don't want to make these changes to the Railway branch until I've tested them. And then I can merge those in GitHub. I can do a pull request and test them and merge them after the fact once I've tested it locally. If I don't like it, I can always go back to the main branch and start it again. Keeps you from breaking anything. See what we're looking for here. It says that this is started on port 5015. What I like to do for one is relocate this terminal session over here. So that if I need to interact with it, like for example, if I just want to kill it, I don't have to type in and ask the AI to. I don't have to use a prompt credit. I can just hit Control C and that turns off the app. And then I can run it again. npm run dev. I want to check and see if it ran install. Yeah, so it ran npm install to update our packages. And now it's running. So let's take a look at what we have here. And it appears that it's erroring on run, which is not surprising. We just made a bunch of changes. So what you'll do here to debug this, see how long this conversation was. We haven't done too much in here. We are going to copy our issue here and say, do not make changes. It is erroring and showing this in the logs. You paste in the log I just copied out of here. Review and tell me why, after you look at the files, do not make changes. Just want to make sure it loads up context and doesn't go trying to break something along the way. See if we got the integration instructions. Pull products from products and high level. V2 private API, pull products. Okay, got our OAuth, which is your client ID and client secret. I know that's correct. And it shows you how to start that interaction. This is what you're looking for when you're trying to provide information to your AI about an integration. You want to give it the exact formats if you can, so that it doesn't guess at formats based on its knowledge. Then it shows you the endpoints, specifically the product one. It's going to give you all of your product information from that endpoint. This is how you would get the particular product based on the product ID. Gives us an example of what it would come back like. Response examples are important too, because your coding tool needs to know how that information is coming back and what to do with it. So this gives you an example of how that information is coming back and what to do with it. Error handling gives us our common errors that are available, the responses that are in the API. Oh, nice. Gave us Node.js and Axios examples because I did not specify what type of app. So it pulled a couple examples from them. And what's neat here is most AI coding tools, if you give it some example of how the integration would work like this, it can translate it for your particular code stack, as long as you have some formatting examples available. Then it has the basic documentation for 2.0 in here available in case you need it. Now, I have done this particular integration, and this looks pretty close to correct. As far as the general idea, it's pretty much on point. That's cool. So right here, it decided to use Toast, and it says it's not installed. We're just going to check, is there another notification system in this project? Do not make changes. Let's just see if it just made up using Toast, or if it lost the fact that Toast is here, or if there's something else that we need to use. And it's looking for Toast. Look, we have Toast. Did it say up here that we didn't have Toast? Okay. So it just has the path wrong. It does have Toast. You could go look through your files and find it yourself if you're feeling like you want to be chasing things down, but not necessary in many cases. Toast notification system, import path is incorrect in the file. So we're just going to say, please update that import and change, nothing else. So the first thing that it said was, we don't have it. Then we had it look again. If it says it doesn't have it look again. Double check. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, please like and follow. And if you need help building or finishing your app, click the link in my bio to book a one-on-one Zoom call to take a look at your project.